Peace and blessings. This is Raisa Hiwala, the divorced Muslimah coach. This being the month of the Quran, we look to it for solace no matter what our situation is. And the one verse that I am looking to, which is coming from chapter 13, verse 28, verily in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest. I'm looking at each one of the verses that I'm sharing with you through this lens. So the one for today is coming from chapter 2, verse 153, which says, O you who believe, seek help through patience and prayer. Verily Allah is with the patient. And we all need help. That's a fact, and I think when we can recognize that and accept that, then we're more willing to embrace the help. And where is the best resource to get help? Of course, it's going to come from our Creator, right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not send us here to live on this earth without help and support and guidance. We have the Quran, we have the Sunnah to guide us back to that connection with Allah. And then from there, Allah guiding us to all the different means that can help us. So here Allah is telling us, how can you help yourself? This is how you help yourself, right? Because we know that no one can help you until you start and help yourself first, right? So if you're not in that place, then there is no help. But if you have to start with the place where, how am I going to help myself? And this is how. And patience is a virtue, right? A virtue needs to be developed into second nature, right? This teaches you how to adapt to difficulty. And we're definitely living in times where we need to adapt, and that's just part of life. And so that is why this is so important, right? And I was a person that was not patient at all. Patience was nothing that I knew, or I just thought that, it wasn't for me. I'm just not a patient person. And I just started believing that until there came a time where I had no other options. I had nowhere else to turn or to look to. And then when I did turn to Allah with sincerity and with humility in utter desperation, I realized I needed patience, and I realized that I was struggling with it, and I realized I didn't have it. So, I desperately made dua for getting more patience. Where was I going to get this, right? So part of it is striving for it. Part of it is making dua. Actually, the first thing we do is make dua, because this is something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us to have, right? And that's going to help us. Well, we have to build it, right? We have to develop it. So making the dua with sincerity and then just striving and trying, it will come to you. Allah will send it to you. Right? And even you can have that level of beautiful patience, sabrun jamil, that Prophet Yaqub had when he lost his son Yusuf, peace be upon him. It was the same type of patience that our mother Aisha radiallahu anha had when she was being slandered, right? And so in this type of beautiful patience, there's a meaning to it. The meaning is that you're accepting the qadr of Allah. You're accepting the situation, yet you're doing your part. You're not being passive, right? And that's one thing I wanted to point out, is that striving is part of patience, right? Patience, or sabr, sabr, how we know it in Arabic, is not passive form of it doesn't mean waiting around, right? It's an active form of worship. It encompasses perseverance, endurance, forbearance, diligence, and restraint, right? It's a characteristic of enlightenment that develops in our hearts. And this is not something that you can just pick up, off the shelf or, get from anywhere. It has to be developed within you through your connection with Allah. So my message really for this is, make your intention, make your dua, strive for it, and know that, one of my mentors always says, when you have an opportunity that comes to you, what is always knocking on the door of opportunity is work. And so there's going to be a struggle. You're going to be tested in your sincerity. And when you know that and you can accept that and recognize that, then you can work through the struggle with Allah's support and help. right? So, and I know that you've heard this before and it's common sense, but a lot of times it's not common practice. And so that is why we need to be aware of our thoughts and our thinking. And I just want to pull it all back together to verily in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest, to be in that state of peace, to be able to even have patience, right? Because if you're in the state of turbulence inside, you're not going to be responding with patience. And you know, sometimes our big feelings and our emotions can get in the way of that good connection with Allah. But I'll tell you more about that, you know, coming up, of how that could be the missing piece of our good connection to Allah. So if you like this video, if this was helpful, share, like it, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Race Like Hiwala, for more videos like this. And until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.